Hello all you Triumph Trident 660 fans. This is another video. This follows my last video on taking the tank cover off, the cosmetic fuel tank cover. And this is how to do the heated grips. So once you've got the tank cover off, you're going to want to remove your grips. And on the left side, you've got two screws, one on the top, one on the bottom, holding those in. That's one of the special tools you're going to need. You're going to need a T20 Torx driver to get that left side grip off. On the right side, it's just taking off the throttle housing. It's just Phillips head screw for that. And then this is where it gets fun. You have a teeny tiny hole underneath the handlebars there, and that's where you're going to want to fit, kind of push up two wiring harnesses onto each side. And then the main wiring harness goes through that hole and behind, and there's the plug there on the left that the wiring harness plugs into. So if you're like me, you're going to want to remove your bar ends and bar end mirrors, or just the bar ends if you have the regular mirrors. Who else is going to want to do this job? Well, it's doable for someone if you have average mechanical skills, if you like to do your own work, change your own oil, that kind of thing. This is very doable. Like I said, you just need a T20 and a T10 Torx driver. Other than that, no real special tools required. Now, it does take a good afternoon by the time you get the tank off and everything. And it does require some patience. That's the main thing. So if you like doing your own work, you're patient, you don't have you have a basic tool set, this is doable. But if you would rather take it to the dealer and do it there, you are going to pay their shop rates, which can get a little steep, but it's a whole lot less headache. So this side, I've got the grip off. There is a tiny washer underneath each one that's on the top one. It's stuck for me. And here I am feeding the left-hand side first. That's the thicker of the two wiring harnesses. It has 3 wires, 2 for the heating and then 1 for the switch. And so I just slowly push that through and it will come out the end there, and you're going to want to pull it a little bit more so you have some slack. I probably pulled it out too far, because then all that slack, you're going to see later on, has to be pushed back through the bar. So as difficult as it is to get it fed through the bar on the way in, it's a lot more difficult then to pull it out after everything is in there, and it can get a little tight. But you're going to want to make sure that it fits into that slot when you do attach the grips. All right, so I'm going to remove the throttle housing here, and I would say that side, the right hand side, the throttle side, that's the most difficult part. You got to feed it through, as you're going to see in a moment. You got to feed it through, and the bigger side, the 3 wire harness, is already taking up most of the room in that little hole. There's a couple things that you could do to make it a little easier. You could loosen up the handlebars and turn them. You could do some kind of a lubrication to make it easier to pull the harness in and out. You do want to be careful there with that throttle housing, because it does all move there once you got it unscrewed. So you're going to want to gently, keep that all in one spot. So here you're going to see it's really not much room at all. I was a little lazy. I could have taken the handlebar clamp off and rotated it and had a little extra room. But lucky for me, I have freakishly tiny hands and was able to just get my fingers around the bar and would just slowly, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch at a time, feed it through, and then later on feed it, or pull it back out after I'd gotten the grips attached. So just go slow and steady. I think I went inside, got a cold beverage, and took a little break. All right, so I've got the left-hand side done, and once you attach it there, you're going to want to make sure you pull it back through. And that's why I said you might not need to pull it all the way out that far, maybe just where enough to get it out of the hole, or just enough so that you can make the connection. Because then And this is where it's a little difficult because you got the instruments right there. You don't have much room underneath the handlebars, so I would just just kind of pinch it between my thumb and finger and pull a little bit. Pinch and pull, pinch and pull, pinch and pull, and eventually it's gonna slide on. Um, like I said, that's the most difficult part. After you get the tank off, uh, after you get the grips and everything off, feeding it through is not too bad. It's actually the pulling it back out and making sure you're not pinching any wires in the process. So see how I pulled it back out, made sure the wire's seated properly, then pull it back through. All right, so same thing on the other side. You got to work a little bit, pinch, pull, repeat. This video I tried to keep under 10 minutes. I think any video longer than 10 minutes is just showing off. But I think I recorded about 46 minutes of doing the whole job. And there were some pauses in between for swearing and for taking breaks and some regaining some patience. But so 46 minutes to get the grip install done. Could have been faster if I'd just taken a couple extra minutes to undo the handlebars, or if I'd found an easier way to make those harnesses slide in and out a little easier, but it got done. So 46 minutes to get all that done, about 20 minutes to take off the tank, and maybe another 10-15 minutes to get it all put back together. So yeah, you can do it under 2 hours if you've read the instructions and you've done the preparation. If you've got the grips online or you got them from your dealer, there is a website called triumphinstructions.com that has, you just put in the part number that you have and it will give you the instructions. You can download those to a PDF. Or there's places like, if you buy it online, like through some dealers, like Triumph of Cleveland, when you buy a part, they automatically will give you a link to the downloads, which is pretty nice. All right, so then you're just going to take the main harness, feed it through this right-hand hole, the wiring hole on that side, and it really just kind of goes back in between the frame for about 2 inches, and you're going to want to pull most of the harness through, let it loop around, have a nice big easy loop so nothing's going to get pinched, and then plug it into the plug there right behind my hand. Now there's a blanking plug in there that you're going to have to remove, and that can be a little bit tricky because it's clipped in there. So I just took a screwdriver, pressed the clip, and pulled it out, but it didn't pull out very easily. It kind of was pulling, and finally it released and shot across my garage, and I still haven't found it. So just take your time with that one too. All right, then I took a wrap and wrapped up the wires, and this is where you have a switch housing, which is a little bit different. It's going to make that left-hand grip a little bit smaller because you have the switch housing that goes over where the screw attaches the grip. And that's where you need the T10 Torx driver, because you have these little self-tapping Torx head screws that just go into the plastic. So you're not going to want to tighten them down too much. And here's where it all works. You got high, medium, and low. You just press the button to switch it out, and it's pretty smooth. I'm loving it. So thanks for watching.